So you want to become an influencer, travel the world, build your own personal brand, and even I kind of hate that word, you're still pretty right here. Because in this video, we're going to talk about the 3 most important steps to building your online brand and how you can achieve them fast. Because I know, nowadays we don't have time anymore. We want quick fixes, we want easy fixes. But honestly, my friends, that's not exactly how it works in this whole game. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't have quick results and quick success. But here's the thing. If you want this whole thing to work, you've got to start treating it like work, because it's actually a hell lot of work. I mean, just look at me right now. My days, my usual weeks here consist of me coming here at about 10 and staying until 12, 1, sometimes 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'm always the last one out here. And, you know, especially right now, where we kind of have some problems in the agency and stuff like this, I've got to put in the extra amount of work and grind, and nobody's gonna pay me for that directly. And this actually leads me right into the second point here. If you do decide to become an influencer, be as honest as possible with everybody out there as you can. People slowly catch on to this whole weird trend of bullshit, of, you know, fake it till you make it, where people show you stuff and they're like, oh, it's all perfect, my life is perfect, this is great, you can do this, it's not a lot of work, stuff like this. And people they just catch on to that. People slowly get adapted to this whole social media form of communication, because it's a new form of communication, and always correlated back to the caveman days. Actually, people started to figure out how to talk. They were like, oh man, it's amazing, we can talk right now. And slowly people started figuring out, all right, we can start to lie, and people are just gonna believe us, because the concept of lying is not inside their heads right now, inside their minds right now. So they just could pull it off. And, you know, naturally, as time progressed, people slowly started catching on to this whole thing. People slowly started getting a feel of this communication form, where they had their mouth to talk, actually. And naturally, they figured out if somebody was lying and full of BS or not. Same thing goes for social media right now. It's a whole brand new form of communication. I mean, just think about it. It's only been out there for 10 years or something like this. And people, the global economy, and everybody out there still has to get a feel for this whole thing. And slowly but surely, and faster than in the caveman days, I guess, people start to get a feel for that. And people slowly start catching on to if somebody just starts spewing out wrong things to trick people. And if you look at it all across the world, it's happening already. It's happening. People talk to me about that all the time. People catch on, and it's just a matter of time that these times are over. So if you want to start, you've got to be willing to share everything, the ups and downs, your raw personality. They start to form a bond with you. It starts to become real, and this is where the whole thing really starts to happen. And it's going to be exhausting, I tell you how it is, especially to share some stuff that you would normally not even share with your mom to a whole bunch of people outside there in the weird internet world. But that's just the game. Now, I do work with different kinds of clients. First of all, those who mainly work for other brands, who do sponsored posts for brands. You know, think of it as your typical Instagram fashion influencer. And then there's those that basically do it for themselves, for their own business. And there's this one thing that a lot of traditional influencers actually forget. They could make 10 times the amount of the money that they do working for another brands to do that for themselves. And by the way, I'm not saying that working for brands and doing some influencer posts for brands is bad. Actually, not at all. But I'm just putting this out there inside your minds. For example, a few months ago, I decided I want to come out with a mentorship program where I basically help people one-on-one, take them by their hand, pull them through everything that's necessary, go with them together, and start working to build their personal brand. And it's great. I actually love that. And the only thing that I did to promote this program was actually just to mention it in a video right here and in my Instagram stories. And that's it. And guess what happened? I made 24,000 euros in the span of just a few days of launching this whole program. It's not too bad, right? And just look down below, which, by the way, you should subscribe if you haven't, and like it if you like this video. But, you know, the subscribers, it's not that much, huh? So how did I do that, and how can you actually do that as well for yourself? I'm a small fish. I'm probably not even a fish in the grand scheme of things. But one thing that I think made this whole thing possible, and this is actually point number 3 here, is that it was always important for me to go really deep and form a strong connection with my audience. And, you know, it's actually, it's just a thing. We fuel each other. You and me fuel. It sounds really cheesy, right? Anyway, for example, I couldn't, I thought about it today, right now, while working for some things. I couldn't do this anymore without, creating for you people out there. It's kind of a relationship where it's just a thing that just aligns, you know what I mean? And it kind of feels, for me at least, that we're sort of this big family in a way. And which, by the way, we might need a name for, thinking about it right now. But, if you can think of a name for our family, just comment down below. Anyway, for example, I do recognize everybody who keeps commenting, who's a regular in the comment section, whether it's here or on Instagram. And, I just read everything, even though I can't, unfortunately, respond to everything. But I read everything. And it's just this thing where I, go deep with the audience as opposed to just, ramping up on a following, just, buffing myself up, looking beautiful. The beauty standards, all of those beauty standards that I can't hold. And, just rank up thousands of followers. But, they're not there to actually align with my purpose and with my mission, which is actually another really important thing. So point being, you've got to have some mission. You've got to have some values that you stand for. You've got to let the people know that, depending on if you work with brands or not. You've got to stay true to your values and don't go away from them other than, if you change them, which also can happen every time, Don't be afraid to change your opinions and stuff like this. But we're getting off track here. Anyway, point being, try to go for a deep connection with the audience as opposed to with a wide connection. Have something that you create value for your audience, whatever that might be. That might be information, that might be entertainment, or some other stuff. But, just think about that. You might be asking right now, how do I actually do that? You talk about that sometimes, but I have no idea how to go deep as opposed to go wide. Let me tell you, it's basically you just caring for your audience, not think about you at all. Because you mean shit for them, You're just a tool for them to help them out or to make them feel better or to do anything. But as time goes on, this will actually turn. People will start to get drawn to you and form a relationship with you just because they're, used to you. They're used to hearing you speak. They will, which is, by the way, another point, which is focus on video content first and foremost. First and foremost, because that's when you start to form a relationship a lot more than with picture content or blogging, depending on how you structure it. But video 1,000 times stronger than picture. They say a picture says more than 1,000 words. Well, and a video says more than 1,000 pictures. There you go. And if you keep doing that, then maybe you've heard about it, the 1,000 true fan theory. If you have 1,000 true fan as opposed to random fans, for example, this is why Ari couldn't sell her 36 t-shirts, which is a video that I did recently. I'll link it somewhere here or here. I have no idea. Still, after almost 2 years. Anyway, you just need 1,000 of those true people to actually make a kind of a nice living through that. And if you just look at me, for example, in the past year, now it's been a little bit more, but in the past year, I've made 6 figures, which, is $100,000. It was actually euros from my personal brand, and this actually pans out. So I guess I have about 1,000 true fans, which is amazing, by the way. Hello, my friends, my fans. The last point here is to actually stop listening to advice online and to finally start working on your thing and start the execution part, because that's so important. And there's going to be voices in your head, doubts, and voices in your family, and your friends are going to be saying probably weird and talking about you behind your back, stuff like this. And people used to laugh at me. I know it. I saw it. I heard it. And people were like, they said I was a dreamer and stuff like this. And up until a certain point, and actually for quite a long time, it felt like they were right. Because it just takes a lot of time. It takes some time until things start working, until things finally start happening. And it might be faster for you than it was for me, or it's the other way around. The thing is, it's different for everybody. But you just have to know, if you keep executing, things are going to happen for you. I've yet to see a person who, if they persisted with this whole journey, still lost. You know what I mean? So really believe in yourself right here. I believe in you, okay? And stop worrying about the voices in your head and then your friends and the people. and just start acting and start doing, and you will get to your destination. And speaking about destination, this whole thing is gonna be a destination. It's never gonna be a destination. And if you'll be like, oh yeah, right now I'm at my destination, you might be doing something wrong, because I think this whole it's just a different way, becoming an influencer and living the digital online life. It's just a different way of living, and you know, you gotta grow. There's always possibilities to branch out, to grow, to, you know, become better, to do more different things. And you just have to know that it's going to be a journey. There's gonna be a lot of ups, there's gonna be a lot of downs. Even if you were like, yeah, I made it, but you know, there's always gonna be some stones in your way and just stuff like that, but it's fun. And that's a great thing about it. Anyway, if you're not aware of it, I have a program called Influencer Academy. Basically, where I take you by your hand and pull you through everything that you need to know, from starting to build your brand, to figuring out your niche, even if you don't have one, to figuring out your audience, to actually important branding steps to stand out from this already kind of big crowd out there. You know, growth hacking, of course, Instagram growth hacking, YouTube growth hacking, because YouTube is a big thing in this whole journey. I tell you how it is. And basically, I just give you all of the knowledge that I have gathered through trial and error for the past actually 3 years or 4 years, because it took a few years until things finally started working for me. But I've gathered that together in this program. It's my heart, it's my soul. And right now we're having a huge discount, actually. Plus, I'm gonna give you access to another new program that I'm about to launch in September, which is called Behind My Brand. And basically, it's just looking over my shoulder. I'll show you every part of my personal brand that's happening right now, give you monthly updates, take you behind the scenes, show you my funnels, for example, show you my methods of growing right now, my tests, what's going on in the agency, and stuff like that. Basically, the thing that I was wanting to see from the things that I watch on YouTube, I actually still want to see them. So if you're one of those people, you know, create a program like this, I'm in immediately. And just because I put on my generous pants today, I decided to give you, all of you guys right now, one lesson from the Influencer Academy for free. And just because I know lots of people always ask me, you know, I've got Instagram engagement problems and, you know, I don't know what to do. I'm shadow banned. The algorithm hates me. I do have a very secret lesson inside there, which is about how to growth hack your engagement, how to explode your engagement again using some really simple strategies. Removing a shadow ban, actually tripping off the algorithm again, so it kind of recognizes, all right, there's something going on, so you start to grow organically again. And it's happening. It's super new. It's a brand new strategy. By the way, Influencer Academy, I'm updating this whole thing forever. I tell you how it is. I'm gonna put everything that I have inside this program, every new thing that's coming up on the scene. Of course, I'm going to talk about that. So if you want to know about this lesson, if you want to watch this for free, totally no obligations, my friends, by the way, so no scheme or anything, just click down below the link in the description. It's going to be sent right into your inbox, actually. You can watch that, and then you can decide to go from there. I'm not mad if you don't decide to join in the program. But other than that, if you got some questions about some other stuff, if you got some, suggestions for videos, whatever, just comment down below. It really helps me out with the algorithm first and foremost. And my name is Dominik. I'm going to Kiev next week, so it'll be a challenge probably in terms of uploading, but we're gonna see. We're gonna just see. You know, if you want me to show you what's up, still what's up, even in Kiev, I don't know. Just comment down below. I'm glad to take you along. Anyway, my name is Dominik. Thanks for watching this time, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye.